I'm here today with Barbara Seregi. Barbara is a Christ follower from Kansas City who is a mother of two and a grandmother of three, with another one on the way. She served the church for over 30 years. Priscilla Schreier's book, Armor of God, made a particularly big impact on Barb. While babysitting one night for a friend, taking care of her children, Hazel and Oliver, she got the idea for a children's book about how the armor of God could help kids. With this inspiration, she wrote her Armor of God series. Her most recent book in the series is called Oliver's Battle. I should also mention that Barb is a veteran of several of our Writing for Life children's book conferences, and so it's always really exciting to have an alum from one of our conferences come out with a new book. So you can find out more about Barb and her books at barbseregi.com. That's BARBSEREGI.com. So Barb, congratulations on all of this work, and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Brian. I appreciate you having me, and I've enjoyed your conferences immensely, and I can't think of this is my first interview ever. So this is I'm glad it's with you because I feel comfortable with you, and seeing you on Zoom for multiple times.
Yes. Well, I mean, one of the things I like so much about the Children's Book Conferences is that community supports each other so well. And you've been involved in supporting some of the other, authors, and the other authors have been involved in supporting you. Yeah. So maybe in a moment we could talk about that a little bit more. But
yeah, I've noticed that a lot too. It's been really nice.
It's really just wonderful to watch.
Yeah.
But what else besides what I briefly mentioned would you like people to know about yourself?
Well, I guess I'll start with my background, a little bit more of my background. I don't really have a writing background, so I feel a little bit like an imposter. I have some imposter syndrome because I've only been doing this for about 10 years. And a lot of that was part-time because I was still working full-time for most of that. I've just been retired a couple years. So, but I got this idea, like you said, one night while I was babysitting for a friend, and I love this Bible study so much. It's Priscilla Schreier. I had it here somewhere. I should have showed it to you. But anyway, it's The Armor of God by Priscilla Schreier, and it's just really made a big impact on me. And I just thought, if while babysitting that night, the idea came to me, if I could write a series for these kids, that they could get some of that information at a young age, that it could really help them with their confidence and just be able to handle some of the trials that we all go through, but kids, especially, so that it could help them. So that's kind of where that started. And the kids in the book are named after the real kids.
Yes, I saw that, which is great. I love that.
Oliver and Hazel, and they've been great. They're 14 now. They were like 4 and 6, I think, when I started this. So it's taken me a while to get this far. But
what about your faith background? What has your faith journey been like?
Yeah, I didn't have much of that faith background. I didn't grow up in the church. Well, I shouldn't say that. We did go to church a little bit when I was a young girl. A couple years. I went to Sunday school and I loved it. I still have my Methodist perfect attendance pens from a couple of years. But then I think we moved away and it just kind of went by the wayside, and I never got back to it really as a young person. And then, of course, life grabs you and you just carry on, and got married and got my job and had my kids, and I came to faith actually because my husband and I had separated, and that we were having some troubles, and so one summer my brother was in town while this was going on. We weren't really apart that long. We were only apart by 6 months, but it was devastating at the time, of course. And So my brother prayed with me. He's a pastor in Florida. And that was, I mean, from then on, after we prayed the prayer, um, I came to the Lord, and I just wanted to learn more and more. And that's how I got into the Bible studies. Ever
Mm,
since, I've been doing some kind of Bible study with, with different women and or on my own. And that's how it started.
mhm, mhm.
So,
Well, as I mentioned, this is the second book in the series. Can you
yeah,
tell folks about the first book?
yeah, yeah. Actually, I've got copies of them here. This is the first one, The Truth About Hazel's Cookie. And it was just um, a, meant to be a real simple story about telling the truth. Um, don't want to give too much away, but Oliver takes her cookie. and and she wonders where it is, and so then that starts a conversation about telling the truth.
Okay.
And then it's actually the babysitter, which was me at the in the real story, um, that talks about the armor of God and the belt of truth, the first piece of armor in the Ephesians.
Hmm, hmm.
So I took that, and that became book one on the belt of truth. And then um, yeah, and then I've got, this is the new one, Oliver's Battle, that's got the breastplate of righteousness. It's the second piece of armor. So this one explores that piece.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So what age range would you say that the two books are targeted
I would say 4 to 8. Although I have a grandson that's 2 that loves this one.
for?
He just got this one, and he's not too sure about it yet. But this one, because of the cookie, he wanted to know. He got this one, and he wanted to know, where's the cookie?
Doesn't every book have a cookie?
I know. So
I would ask that question if I was his age. That's for
I
sure.
know. Yeah. So probably more 4 to 8, I would
Okay.
say, in reality. So
And how many pages are the books? What was your
well, that I've
uh,
learned
yeah.
from your conferences. This first one I think was like 52.
Mm.
I guess I didn't know what I was doing. Since then, through your conferences, I've learned that they're supposed to be 32. So this one is 32.
Okay.
And better for that age group anyway,
Hmm,
to
hmm.
cut down the pages, and uh, so you can keep their attention at that age.
So do you think there'll be some more books coming in the series?
Yes, yes. Well, the goal is to do there'll be a book series of 7. There's 6 pieces of armor. The next piece is the gospel shoes of peace. And I've got a story lined up for that. I've actually even got my illustrator. I just talked to her today, ready to start on that in January.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so she's great. I should tell you about that, because the first illustrator, uh, Kimberly Gamez, uh, was my pastor's daughter
Oh
that did
my.
this first one. And that came about through a prayer request.
Hmm.
I was at a Bible study with her mom, my pastor's wife, several years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, and told her I had this idea and that I was um, needed an illustrator. And she said, my daughter's always kind of wanted to do that. And talked to her, and then she went ahead and did this for me.
Hmm.
So but then when I finally got around to getting this one ready, after I retired, um, she was too busy, and she was pregnant, and she
Hmm.
had too much going on. So I think it was Glennis Nellis told me about going on that Facebook author page.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I went on that Facebook author and illustrator page
Uh-huh.
and just put the word out that I was looking for an illustrator and what the book was about. And I found this gal, Maru, I should have, Maru Salem Vargas. Um, but she's been great to work with. Um, she's in the Philippines.
Wow.
Yeah. So
So
we've
you've
done
been
this
able to
all,
collaborate across continents.
yeah, we've done this all via email and a little bit of FaceTime or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And she's the one that she's going to do the third one too for me.
Excellent. Excellent.
I'm hoping to keep her through the rest of the series.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so, obviously you've self-published these. Can you talk
Yeah.
about what that process has looked like for you?
Um, yeah. Sorry. My phone just went off. Siri heard me. um, yes. I didn't really want to self-publish because obviously I didn't know what I was doing. Um, and some days still feel I don't know what I'm doing, but
It's a lot of work.
it is a lot of work. But I sent it the first one off to a few agents and a few publishers, and just no luck. And a few people that from your conferences were that I talked to were very friendly and very nice, but just you can't blame them. Who's wants to take on a 7-book series from a new author, you know. So I figured if I was going to do it, and I really felt called to do it, that it was going to have to be on my own.
Mm-hmm.
So my family, my daughter is in design, art and design. My son-in-law is a copy editor. My husband's been very supportive. That's just the husband from back when. We did get back together. um, my son and his wife, have been great. So, and then of course, friends. I've had different friends come in and help with different things. So,
So
or people I've met through your conferences and that kind of stuff.
how did you marry the text and the illustrations into one file?
Yeah. My daughter did that
Okay.
initially.
Like Photoshop or something, or do you know what she did?
In design.
In design? Okay. Yeah.
She went, yeah. She's got the background for that. So
Okay.
I don't know what I'm doing. But she's pregnant right now. And she didn't really have a lot of time, and I just hated burdening her with it. So now I've got another gal that I met through years ago. Talk about, I think this is a God thing too, through a church group, a small group.
Hmm.
I met this gal. I mean, probably 20 years ago.
Wow.
And somehow through Facebook or whatever, we've kept in touch. And I knew she did graphic design, and she's helped me through this.
Oh, goodness. That's wonderful.
Yeah. So
And then did you publish it on Amazon or somewhere else?
on Amazon. Yeah. I thought about doing Ingram Spark and getting a hardback and all that, but I'm not quite there yet. Plus I want to keep the cost down. They're $9.99, and so I haven't got that far yet.
No, well, I mean, like them or not, I mean, they're the largest platform for books, among other things, in the world. And so, and then they're, Kindle Direct Publishing is what it's called, even though it's not just Kindle.
Right.
That is a very easy to use service, and basically costs you nothing to get the book up available on Amazon.
Yeah. Yeah. This one's all just print on demand. This first one, we actually brought in like 600, 700 copies that are still a lot of them in my basement. So we decided to just go with the print on demand this time.
Yeah. I mean, it just makes so much sense. I mean, have you been happy with the print and the color quality?
Yes, actually, I think it's as good or better than what we had before. So
I found the same thing with some of Frederick Buechner's books.
Really?
Yeah. The ones that we got, we self-published one of his books on Amazon, and the print quality of it was just fantastic. Whereas some of the stuff we would get from the publishing houses had pages messed up or covers messed up, and not usually. I mean, but more than what it was through Amazon. Surprise. So anyway, go figure.
Yeah, I know.
So, so you're, kind of going to be on your third out of 7. You have a timeline for the other 4 after that, or what?
I'm hoping to do one a year from here on
Okay.
out. So this time next year, I'm hoping to have the third one out. So, and then, like I said, there's 6 pieces of armor. I don't know but then the 7th book will be a book on prayer. Since the end of Ephesians 6 talks about prayer after it talks about all those pieces of armor. So I thought that'd be a good way to end it. Yeah.
So I think, have you participated in one of Glennis's book launch teams?
Oh yeah.
I thought so. And so you've learned from the expert, right? I mean, in terms of how to do a book launch. I mean, have you done a similar kind of route for yourself?
I've not done very good with it, to be honest. I need to get the marketing thing figured out better. It's still real hard for me. But I'm working on it. I figured out Google Forms.
Oh, good. There you go. That's one step along the way.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Glennis is just such an expert. I mean, I follow her lead.
Yeah, I've talked to her more than once. Yeah, several times about different things. She's been a great help. Her and Jennifer Grant too actually helped me a lot. So yeah.
Jennifer's another expert in all of this.
Yeah.
And like we were talking about before, it's just so wonderful how so many folks in this community are willing to help each other. So
yeah, I agree. It's nice.
So anything else you'd like to pass along to folks about your experience or?
I don't know. I guess just that the main takeaway that I hope to get across with these is that it will help children to learn these things. And I feel like even if I just get it in the hands of, I mean, I of course love to get it in the hands of a lot of kids, but even the few that maybe it does get to, if they learn that and then carry that with them throughout their life and pass it on to others, how that works. So
sure.
Yeah. So that's the main goal. Trying to remember this is for God, not for me. If it doesn't,
right. I mean,
if it doesn't succeed, it's, which I feel like it already has succeeded, getting this far. So
good. That's excellent to hear.
Yeah.
So again, the latest book is titled Oliver's Battle, and you can learn more at www.barbseregi.com. And let me spell that again, BARBSEREGI.com.
Yes.
So, so Barb, congratulations again on this. I'd love to hear it, and please keep us posted on progress of the future books.
Thank you. I will. I appreciate it, Brian.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.